Okay, in the last part of the first navigational video, we were finishing up the syllabus and we had been talking about um, first participation, which is expected, about every day, if not every other day, in an online course, and then the student expectations for the College of Education. With the Office of Disability Services, if you're registered with them, you just want to make sure you let me know as soon as possible so we can get your accommodations in place. The others are pretty straightforward. And the last thing is just more resources across the university. If you're having some mental health issues, I highly recommend the CAP service, which is the Counseling and Psychological Services, because they're free to you and they're very valuable if needed. And also, if you're having trouble with any of the writing in class, I would recommend the Writing Center. The Writing Center won't write your paper for you, but they will provide a lot of support, especially in terms of editing and structuring. All right, so just going back in terms of the syllabus, and I'll go all the way back to syllabus and expectations there. Um, what we just went through is the tab version of the syllabus. Underneath there is resources and responsibilities and services. So if you're taking an online class, what are your responsibilities and services? Underneath is a question, advice on where to go for questions. If you have a course-related question on content, you can either email me or I have an FAQ blog and discussion area, which you can access over here on the left. And if you go to that, you would post a question there if you thought it would be helpful to other people as well. So if I click on there, it gives me a chance to create a blog entry, which everyone could see. And then when I answer it, everyone can see my answer. So again, it's a question that you think everybody might have that you'd want to post there. Okay, other student resources, these are for technical issues. If you specifically have a Blackboard issue, you would email our Blackboard support here at Mason. If you have a hardware or software question, you would email just tech support or call them. Okay, so both are valuable resources. And if you're having hardware or software difficulties or Blackboard issues, I would highly recommend contacting them. Okay, so that's everything underneath the syllabus and expectations tab. Under the course overview tab, we have several things. This first document just gives you an idea in kind of a very short form of just the learning module, basic content. So basically the titles of the content we'll be covering each week for the 15 modules. So going back, under that, there's a major course assignments folder. So if you click on that, there are our two major assignments, the mini project and the research review paper. The mini project's due the 10th of April, the review paper due the 1st of May. That would be nice, the 20th of May, on the 1st of May. And the mini project is really, like I mentioned before, a proposal of a research study that you might do. If you click on the first document, it's a Word document, which is a description, and then the rubric. The outline, your submission will be a PowerPoint. So this is a template outline right now with just the headings. And then these are 3 sample papers. There's 2 ones done by a group because you can work in a group with up to 4 people. And the last one's an individual sample. So let me just click on the outline so you can get an idea of what it might look like when you do it. And there's a few slides I just want to highlight what should go on them. So if you're looking at the PowerPoint template, a lot of the titles and the slides are going to look kind of foreign to you right now until we get into the course more. But we won't work on the mini project until weeks 8 through 10. So by that point, we'll have covered a lot of the content you need to put on these slides, so you'll feel a lot more comfortable. Okay, so it's taken a minute to open up here, but this is just a title slide. You can make up your own title. And after the title slide, there are some additional slides, of course, but some of them are very straightforward, like what would your educational problem be? What are you going to investigate? And you state that through your purpose and your questions as well. But the main ones that I want to highlight, because we will talk about all of these throughout the course, variables, setting, procedures, that type of thing, validity and reliability. But people usually have the hardest time with the data analysis plan, and then a couple others. The data analysis plan, the proposed data analysis plan, is not how you will collect data, but basically it's how you will make sense of it. So on this slide, you want to give a brief overview of how you'll statistically analyze, graphically analyze, or visually analyze the data. And it can be very basic, and especially with the stats, I'm not expecting anything over, percentages, frequency counts, and then basic inferential statistics using mean or averages. Discussion of quality indicators. Quality indicators are things within your study. And these are things that would indicate to the reader of your study and of an article you would publish that your study is well designed and it has the necessary facets to collect accurate data. So you would just describe some things, you'd highlight some key parts that you've already kind of brought up in a more broad fashion, but you would assert why they were important for your study to be well designed, to highlight that for the reader of the proposal. And then the last part is the mini reflection. Here you're really going to just talk about, your thoughts on your experience designing a study, and then any future directions you might have after completing that study. Where would you take the research after completing this particular proposed study? So that pretty much goes over the mini project outline. And if I go back, there's a folder just like the mini project folder for the research paper. Now remember, your research paper is a literature review. So there's, again, a project description in a Word document along with a rubric, and then some sample papers and the outline. Now this outline, I'm going to open it up because it's not a PowerPoint, it's in a Word document. And it is a Word document set up in APA format. Now again, this is basic APA format, and you'll have to do a little bit of tweaking, for each paper, but it already has the running head and the title page set up. You just got to put in the information. What is the title of your paper? What's going to be your running head? Then it has the abstract, and then you would plug in your abstract, and it has a description of what you should put there. And obviously you would delete that description out. And then before your introduction, you're going to put not introduction, because it's kind of assumed that it will be an introduction, but the title of your paper, and then any subheadings you have here. And again, it has some directions, and you'll delete the directions out and put the content in there for your paper. Now, each week we'll be working on pieces of the research paper this semester. So what you should do is put the piece up in your wiki and then put it into your paper template, so you have it in both places. And that way you're really building your paper as you go here, rather than having to put everything together in the end. Okay, like I said, there's some sample papers there as well for you to take a look at. The final research paper, again, can have up to 4 group members work on it. It's very doable as an individual paper. So some people do the paper as an individual and then the mini project as a group. Some do both as a group. Some do both as an individual. So it's really up to you. One thing I will tell you is it's highly advisable for your research proposal to be an extension of the literature you're reviewing in the research paper. So a lot of people do the same topic, but they propose a study with a different population, or a study that goes just a little bit further than what people have read about, or with, proposing a study with a different population on the same topic. So you don't want to reinvent the wheel unless you have another topic you're equally interested in. Okay, going to the course overview tab there again. Underneath the major course assignments, there's the course rubrics. And there's a basic participation rubric, which just says basically be logging into the class, checking your email. There's the 2 rubrics for your major course assignments again, and these are rubrics without descriptions this time. So that's the one difference you'll notice with these rubrics. There's no descriptions like under the major course assignments. And then you have a little blurb here about weekly activity rubrics, which just basically says each week you'll be given assignments with some guidelines on how to complete them and the scoring. Again, this is just another way to the FAQ blog, besides the way here on the left. The learning modules are really where your course content is going to be. Right now, you just have modules 1 and 2 here. And so if I click on module 1, all the modules are set up in a similar way. You again have this tabbable table of contents here, which you can also move through the module with the arrow. And the first page is always what's assigned for the week. So it's your advanced organizer. And this week, notice that you have one assignment, the city modules, that's not actually due for 2 weeks. So that's a bigger assignment, so I gave you a little bit more time. And then it has all the things you need to complete the module, as well as then in the end, another advanced organizer, which basically helps you check off if you completed everything. But you can always access all your assignments via the learning modules. It takes you to all the assignment links and anything you would need to do. But there are other ways to get to things, like the research review wikis. All your wikis are here with your name. So you can click on it and then add content. I added one for myself here so I wouldn't disrupt anybody's. It's the test wiki. And the first thing I'll ask you to post is your topic. So I'll put the title of my wiki. You just have to title it. I'll put topic, and I put my topic is. And then I would submit it, and my topic is posted. Then after your topic posting, your second week, you're going to need to put your research purpose. So you can either edit that wiki and add the research wiki, add the research purpose to the same page, or what a lot of people like to do, because it's a little easier to work through as things build throughout the semester, is put a separate page that says my research purpose is. And then they'd hit submit. And let's say you have a lot of content, because some weeks you'll have a lot of content to put on there. You can always click the attachment, the little paper clip, and insert a file, and you can insert content as a Word document as well, and then hit submit. Okay, and as you'll see here when I hit submit, now I have 2 pages and I can click back from one to the other. So some people like that better than just having one ongoing page. If you're going to comment on a peer's work, I recommend that you hit comment, and it'll open a separate box, and you can say my comment is, or my feedback. And then once you do that, it'll show you, you as the author or the owner of that wiki, can read your comments. And when I say the author or owner, other people can author on it, but it has your name, so it's focused on your content. So you're the chief author or owner of that wiki. But other people can comment in the comment box. They can comment on your page, but if you comment on somebody else's page, I recommend you doing it in a different color, just so that it'll stand out. Because I'll comment on your page, but in a different color. Other key things to know about are the discussion board. Your first discussion board posting here is your introduction forum, and other people are already posting here. And this is just a short introduction about yourself, responding to these questions. And you just click on the introduction forum, and then you create a thread for yourself. Other times you'll use the discussion board is on a very limited basis, just for 2 other assignments. It'll be in your learning modules when to post your mini project, and then whose draft you're going to review for the final paper. If you're looking for group members and you want to post here, this is an optional post. I advise you, if you want to work with a group member, or you need people to work with, to post there. After that, activities and assignments are another way into bigger assignments. The first one is the city module. Again, you can get to that through the learning module that it's assigned in, but this is another way. In the second week, you have a literature review scavenger hunt. This is just another way to get to that assignment. It's like an easy access if you want to go right to the assignment. This link here are your grades. I'm not going to click on that link because I don't have grades, but that's where they would be posted. Other things to know about, I can set up a group for you if you need a group set up. And the very last thing is, if you want to email peers straight through Blackboard, you can click email. You can select myself, or you can select other students to email. Hopefully this has given you a good overview of the course. Again, a key thing to highlight under tools, I know I covered this in the first time is each week, at least once a week, I'll be sending out announcements and they'll be here. So something to keep checking every week when you log in, as well as they'll be sent in your email. And if you ever want to meet with me, I might ask you to meet in person or to click on Blackboard Collaborate. Hopefully this overview has helped you for the